The sound came first, glass cracking under pressure, a sharp animal scream, then silence. I remember the way the uncle's wine glass splintered in his hand, red spilling like a confession across the white tablecloth. I remember the card between his fingers suddenly heavy. I remember his eyes lifting to mine wide, unblinking, terrified. "Is this title?" he said, breath-breaking. "Is this real?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Across the table she froze, my wife. Her smile collapsed inward like a building after the blast. The laughter died mid-breath. The room smelled like turkey in fear. 10 minutes earlier, she had tossed my business cards into the trash with a laugh. "Nobody cares," she said loud enough for the room. Her cousins laughed. Her mother nodded. Someone clinketed a fork. Now no one laughed. I sat very still, hands folded, watching the truth land exactly where I'd aimed it. I didn't always know she despised me. At first, it was subtle. The way she'd correct me in public, gently with a smile sharp enough to draw blood. The way she'd call my work paper, pushing, and temporary like a phase she tolerated until I grew into. Something worthy of her family's dinners. I loved her. That's the part people miss. Love blinds slowly, not all at once. You don't notice the dimming until you're already stumbling. We met when I was building something fragile and new. Long nights, coffee gone cold, deals that didn't close. She said she admired my discipline, said she loved my mind, said I was different. Different. Became small, small became embarrassing. Embarrassing became something she joked about with her friends. Her family owned things, buildings, companies, influence. Their Thanksgiving table was long and loud, and full of men who spoke in numbers, and women who smiled like accountants. They measured people quickly, decided their worth before dessert. I tried. I brought wine, asked questions, laughed at stories that weren't funny. And every year, I felt it more clearly. I was an accessory, a placeholder husband, a mistake she planned to correct. The first sign came months before Thanksgiving. She stopped asking about my work, not disinterest, avoidance. When I mentioned travel, her eyes flicked away. When I said I was meeting clients, she changed the subject. One night, I caught her scrolling through my LinkedIn profile, jaw tight. "Just curious," she said too fast. Curiosity doesn't smell like fear. Then came the comments. "Do you even have a real title?" "Anyone can print business cards. My uncle would eat you alive." I smiled. I swallowed. I filed it away because suspicion is a seed. And I've learned how to grow things in the dark. I didn't confront her. I observed. I noticed the way she took phone calls in the other room. The way she asked casual questions about my schedule, my cases, my clients. The way she forwarded emails from her family business to a personal account, then deleted the sent folder. I noticed the sudden renovations her parents started. Cash heavy, rushed, sloppy. The offshore accounts mentioned too freely over dinner. The jokes about audits. The confidence of people who believe they're invisible. That confidence is always the tell. I started checking things I wasn't supposed to check, quietly, legally, methodically. I didn't need to break rules. I wrote some of them. The first file made my chest hurt. Not anger, clarity, shell companies, inflated invoices, kickbacks, hidden behind charitable donations. A pattern, a beautiful, damning pattern. My wife knew not everything enough. She wasn't mocking my job because it was small. She was mocking it because it was dangerous. The night I found the proof that connected her directly, I didn't sleep. It wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no tears, just an email thread forwarded one too many times. Her name tucked into the metadata like a fingerprint on a weapon. I sat in the dark listening to her breathe beside me and felt something. Inside me go very still, pain burns, betrayal cools. By morning, I wasn't her husband anymore. I was a planner. Revenge isn't rage. Rage is messy. Revenge is architecture. I didn't expose anything right away. I let them build higher. I let them get louder, sloppier. I nudged conversations, asked innocent questions at dinner, watched egos swell. I ordered new business cards, thick. Stock, clean font, no logo, just a title most people wouldn't recognize unless they should be afraid of it. Senior Forensic Director, Federal Compliance, and M and a Due Diligence. Act 6. I knew who would recognize it. Her uncle, the quiet one, the one who asked the right questions and drank too much wine. I timed Thanksgiving carefully. Enough pressure in the system. Enough evidence. Secured. Enough distance between me and the blast radius. I didn't need to accuse anyone, I just needed to be seen. She found the cards in my jacket before dinner. What is this? She asked, laughing already. Trying to impress my family now? I shrugged, calm, neutral, just cards. She rolled her eyes and walked into the dining room ahead of me. During appetizers, she pulled a handful from my pocket and held them up like a joke. Look at this, she said. He still carries these around. Nobody cares. She laughed, tossing them into the trash by the counter. Her cousins laughed. Her mother smiled. I felt nothing. Because the plan was already moving, her uncle excused himself halfway through dinner. Bathroom maybe or instinct. I watched him pause by the trash, watched his hand hover, watched curiosity win. He unfolded the card slowly, read it once. Then again, the wine glass slipped from his fingers before he realized he was shaking. The sound cut the room open. When he looked at me, I didn't flinch. This title, he whispered, is this real? I met his eyes. Yes. The room shifted, chairs scraped. Someone cursed under their breath. My wife stared at me like she'd never seen my face before. Her uncle backed away from the table, knocking into a chair. We need to talk, he said to no one. To everyone I stayed seated. Chaos doesn't need direction, it knows where to go. Phones came out, voices rose, accusations spilled faster than the wine. Her father demanded explanations. Her mother cried. Her cousin suddenly remembered other plans. My wife leaned toward me, nails biting into my arm. What did you do? She hissed. I turned to her for the first time that night. I told the truth, I said quietly. Eventually she searched my face for mercy, found procedure. By dessert, federal names were being whispered. By coffee, her uncle was gone. By the time coats were pulled from closets, their empire had cracked audibly. I stood, buttoned my jacket, picked a card from the table where someone had set it down like a relic. I'll be staying elsewhere, I said. No one stopped me. The fallout was thorough. Investigations don't rush. They tighten. Accounts collapsed. Friends disappeared. Statements contradicted each other. My wife called, texted, pleaded, threatened. I didn't respond. In the end, it wasn't prison that broke her family. It was exposure, the slow bleed of reputation. The way invitations stopped arriving. The way names were said with a pause. She tried to tell people she didn't know. The metadata disagreed. I sometimes think about that glass breaking, how something so fragile can announce the end of a lie. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't lift a hand. I didn't even accuse. I let them laugh. I let them underestimate me. I let gravity do the rest. Betrayal taught me something clean and final. Power isn't loud. Revenge isn't cruel. And control belongs to the person who can wait. They threw my cards in the trash because they thought I was nothing. I picked one up and ended.